What up, y'all? Tim Z here, back at it again. Know what I mean? So today I'm gonna be talking about a YouTube knife reviewer named Nick Shabazz. He posted a video about how it's called "Life Comes First." Some advice for for new gear addicts, whatever, something like that. So I'm gonna start off the video right now. Say, Nick Shabazz, yo, man, YOLO. That's what I say. They should just buy the gear they want. Life is short. No. All right, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Look, listen up. I agree with him on that shit. You know what I mean? Look, all right, I'm just going to say that people spend way too much money that they do not need to spend or cannot afford to spend. And for those of you living in the United States, it's like an American way, getting in debt, credit card debt, debt on everything. You know what I mean, like there's some crazy number out there. The average debt is like 10,000 or some shit. Like it's way too much per person. You know what I mean, because everyone is not taught how to manage their money, and that's why there's so many people struggling out there. They're living beyond their means. So let me just start off with what I think about Nick Shabazz first before I talk about that video. So first of all, I think that he sounds like a good guy. I mean, he's kind of like, he's different than the other knife reviewers. He's kind of, what do you call that, quirky or some shit. And he's like, you can tell, he's like, he's kind of nerdy, but I'm not saying being a nerd is a bad thing. I'm a nerd too. Okay? In some ways, you know what I mean? Anyways. So he is a person that I think he calls himself, he says his full-time job is a scientist or some shit. I can't not remember, something like that. So you can tell he sounds like one. He's very detail oriented, right? And the way he looks at knives, his perception on knives, his perspective, I mean, is like, something you can use in the office without scaring the shit out of everyone else. I almost let the F1 slip in there, my bad. So it's something, he likes knives that are good for the office and like everyday life without scaring people around you, which, you know what, that encompasses most people. You know what I mean? It's just like too many people, well, not too many. There's people out there that like to think they need all the tactical gear in the world, when the truth is, it's great for the times you might need it in an emergency, but what about the 99 other percent, times when you don't need that shit? You just look like a fool. You know what I mean? It's just overdoing, it's overkill. You know what I mean? So the way he talks about knives is in a very utilitarian manner. It's something where you can use it every single day in your life. Just an average day, average Joe, average day, nothing crazy going on. I mean, that's good for almost every day. That's going to cover you all the time. So I like the way he reviews his knives in the video. He covers every aspect of the knife. You can tell he's real detail oriented, and he's like, a kind of a techie guy. He's not like, it's not tech, but he seems like one to me. He's very detail oriented. He talks about everything, the action when opening the knife, the pocket clip, the scale material, everything. Very smart sounding individual to me. I know a lot of you guys are already shocked I'm not roasting the damn shit out of him, but no, man, I keep it real. I told you that shit already. So I also like his disassembly videos. He really shows you how to take apart your knife if you've never taken it apart. That's really useful. If you need to maintain your own knife, do some maintenance and oil, whatever. He shows you everything, so you don't have springs flying all over the place. He shows you how to do so. So what I think about Nick Shabazz is he is a good person to follow, and knowledge to absorb about knives. If you are a person that's similar like him, someone who carries a knife in an office, doesn't want to scare the crap out of people, someone who likes things that are very useful and practical. And that's someone like me, you know what I mean? All right. So yeah, there's that. There are other YouTubers out there, man. they're much different. You know, they're like the big guys. They talk about like they in the forest hunting and shit. You know, but in reality, most people are not hunting. It's the same way how like people wear a dive watch, right, with a rotating bezel, and they never dive in the water. They're basically a desk diver. It just stays on the desk because they work at a desk. So, I mean, look, he is a great reviewer. I think he's one of my top knife reviewers, favorite people to watch. He's got the content coming out all the time. He got over 100,000, 100, I don't even know, man, 120, 130,000 YouTube subscribers. So that's a real great thing. You know how there's one way to tell if someone's intelligent or not? If you compare their Instagram followers to their YouTube followers, if they got a significant amount more of followers on IG, aka Instagram, than they do on YouTube, that means they're a lot of fluff and BS, or they just there for the aesthetics, like they look good or something like that. They trendy, right? But when it comes down to the real knowledge on a subject, peep how many subscribers that person has on YouTube. If they have a lot more on YouTube and their IG followers is low, then you know that their content and what that comes out of their mouth is smart. You know what I mean? Unlike me, right now I got more followers on Instagram than YouTube. You know, I'm just getting started on this shit. But forgive me for that shit. All right, so I told you what I think of him. Great reviewer, good for people who are in the office. You know what I mean? Maybe not like in the wilderness, not working on the farm. You know, he's showing knives that are really practical and easy to use, not scary, or like he says, not murdery. Not meaning to make fun of anyone here, but yeah, I agree, like I said. So let's see, I want to talk about this video now where he gives advice to the newbies. All right, so yes, his advice for newbies who are getting into gear is on point. I mean, it's totally on point, because too many people out there are spending obscene amount of money on gear when they don't need it to be. And you know what? I always talk about this in everyday life. Social media is really unhealthy for people. Think about this. We're all on YouTube, right? Maybe you don't think of YouTube as social media as much, but it is. IG, Instagram, Facebook definitely are social media. So on social media, what is it for? People usually post their best version of themselves for everyone else to see on their Instagram page. So they post all the shit that they want to brag about, like, oh, look at this, like, oh, look what I got. But they won't post the shit when they're losing. People only post their wins, dog. They don't post their losses. So do not base your happiness on what you see other people have on their IG, please. That's why there's so much mental health problems with people's self-esteem issues and shit. You know what I mean? The social media is vicious. It's crazy. So in the way, let's just talk about the knife part. Anyway, the thing is, if you see other gear collectors keep posting brand new gear, you're going to be feeling like, damn, that guy got a lot of new gear every day. I've been having the same gear for the past 3 months. It might make you feel like shit. You might make you feel poor or something like that. But be happy with what you have. It's such a cliche saying, but people never really learn that. It's so hard to live by. Be happy with what you have when you see everyone else always having new shit. So social media is actually fake, very fake, because people only post their happy moments, their wins, their new gear. But they do not post their old stuff. They don't post the times when they took a big L on that interview or some bullshit. Like, oh, I just asked this girl out and she didn't even answer me and just turned around and walked away or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Anyways, okay. To the newbies, I agree. You guys need to be careful how you spend your money. Don't just start spending and building up crazy quantity of gear. Just get one. See how you feel with it. And stop buying more shit until you get used to that shit and you feel like, okay, I want another one. I can afford it. I can afford it responsibly. I still can pay my bills. I can still pay for my mortgage. I can still pay for my rent, pay for my mom for feeding my ass every single day because I'm still a kid, or 40 years old, whatever you want to be. So save money. Now, you guys need to save money instead of buy every single piece of gear. Trust me, you do not need every piece of gear. But Instagram will make you feel like you do need to have every piece of gear. Now, social media and knives and life in general, there is a thing that people do when they see the other person across the street always have something better than them. And they see the next person trying to one-up them. It's called keeping up with the Joneses. Oh man, fuck that shit. That's no Rona, boy. That was just spitting too much right now, talking loud. You know what? So, keeping up with the Joneses. If you guys know what that is, it was a TV show a long time ago. And it's also some shit where you see one person sees another person getting a big house, for example, and the next person's like, you know what? Fuck, I can't afford the big house, but I'm gonna go take a 30-year mortgage and put only 5% down just to get a bigger house than them because I want to be cool. That's called keeping up with the Joneses. It's a vicious cycle. Everyone's seeing each other's shit on Instagram. It's pushing the next mountain higher. It's building higher and higher. And the next level that you have to reach is even crazier than before. That's too much, man. You cannot follow that for the rest of your life. You'll be in debt and not building your retirement plan and shit like that. You know what I mean? You can't have everything. Money is limited. Time is limited. Treasure what you have. Save the money that you were going to spend on the gear that you didn't really need in your bank account. Invest it. Put in your Roth IRA. Tax-free growth, know what I mean? Pay off your debt if you have debt. What else? Invest in mutual funds that give you around mutual funds that track the S&P 500, total market, maybe international. And you'll make around like 8 to 10% per year. Keep saving that every month. You're going to be a millionaire by the time you retire. If you do like $5,000 a year, $6,000 a year, you'll be a millionaire by the time you are retiring. If you start in at age 20, it's not about YOLO. I know this YOLO culture that started many years ago was you only live once. Oh, yeah, I got that right. But the thing is, if you keep following these sayings, you're going to end up like most Americans are. Broke. You broke, boy. You know how many people never own real estate? Not even their one place, their residential property? Because you see them buying new cars every 5 years instead of freaking saving money for a down payment. You know what I mean? They're leasing cars all the time when they're getting paid almost minimum wage. I mean, there's so many people that need teaching on finances and what the hell to do because they all lost. Yeah, man. So, shit. It's just crazy. It's beyond the knife shit, you know what I mean? Seriously. So that's why I really like that video by Nick Shabazz. It's one of my most favorite videos by him. It's not even about knives really, But I'm like, okay, this guy's got his financial shit down. I mean, I guess he is a scientist. You have to be smart to be a scientist most of the time. Most of the time. Yep. So I'm like, that makes sense. This guy got some brains, all right? And his philosophy really matches mine on a lot of shit. I like the knives he likes. I like the advice he gave to people who are getting into gear. Be careful when you view pictures on IG and Facebook. And that thing is so damn true when he's talking about his buddy that has a Rolex store, boutique, or authorized dealer. Those people just take those things out, take a picture, and they don't even own that shit. So it's so real. I mean it. I mean that shit. It's real. So yes, I do have a Grand Seiko here. It's a Grand Seiko. High beat. I'm into my watches too. I have a lot more than this, but this is just the ones I got on the table, especially since he loves Grand Seiko. That's how I can tell that guy's a watch enthusiast right away. You know what I mean? It's true. So, I mean, there's so many good things that come out of his videos, and he's a really good reviewer. I don't really got much to say now. I said pretty much everything I wanted to say, rambled a little bit unorganized, but you know, I always freestyle my videos. I don't even write these things down and nothing like that. So this was just a big ass rant about Nick Shabazz and how he made a really good video, and I would say he's a top shit, man. To me, he's my favorite, top two, right? I'm not going to name other YouTubers or any shit, but he's one of my favorite knife reviewers. And that guy's so lucky. He gets a lot of free products, even though he specifically tells them he's going to be honest. And if it's shit, he's going to tell them it's shit. But those brands still send it out because you know what? Sometimes bad press is still good press. Lucky, boy. I mean, oh. But he does do the giveaways and donate the shit to charity. So it all goes to good. So I think I'm ending this shit here. You know, I really went on too much, went off the deep end about saving your money, investing your money instead of spending it all on gear. And yes, that thing he said about sometimes the best $500 of gear is $50 gear and $450 in your savings account. All right? Well, maybe it's $50 gear, $400 in your savings account, and $50 in your retirement account or some shit. Look, save up, have a save up for retirement, know what I mean? And also have fucking emergency fund. Usually you want to save up 6 months at least, bump it up to a year's worth of expenses, go up to 2 years, become financially independent. Yeah, I rambled way too much shit about knives. I know half of you guys are like, why the hell are you telling me to save money? I just want to buy new knives, but it's alright. So yeah, I'm gonna end this here. Please give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. It's all good. Click subscribe, hit the bell button to get notifications for when I post a video, since I know I'm your favorite YouTuber, maybe besides Nick Shabazz, which I'll forgive you for. Anyways, check me out on IG. I'm Tim Z USA. All right. So until next time, Tim Z out.